A very good morning unto you. My name is Victoria Sevilla. An absolute pleasure and joy to be here, of course. Welcome to the breakfast meeting. If you might already know, Uganda's mineral sector is often described as a sleeping giant, full of potential, but still waiting to be fully awakened. From gold to rare earths, limestones to cobalt, the opportunities are quite vast. Now, yet the conversation is no longer just about what we have underground, but how we can turn those resources into real value, jobs, industries, and sustainable growth. Now, as we count down to the 14th Mineral Wealth Conference in September, we are unpacking the opportunities and challenges shaping Uganda's mining journey. Now, joining me this morning to have that particular conversation is Dr. Engineer Apollo Buregeya, who is the CEO of Echo Concrete, who has been at the forefront of this conversation around value addition, responsible mining, and industrialization. Good morning and welcome, Engineer.
Thank you, Victoria. Good morning, viewers.
It's good to have you. Now, we're going to have quite an interesting conversation. I'm always open to learning more about not just the mining sector, but of course industrialization and how regular people can benefit from this industry. But before we get there, perhaps maybe you could start, because you've called the mining sector in Uganda more of a wake-up call, correct? Why do you believe now is such a critical time?
Thank you, Victoria. I'm honored to be hosted by you here today, which is part of the 30 days media campaign, framed mining media campaign, which is an initiative by the Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals towards the 14th Mineral Wealth Conference. Of course, it's not just a media campaign. I'm here, my objective today is to make sure that Ugandans are on board when it comes to minerals. They're able to understand that these minerals are actually the driver of industrialization. That what we have as minerals mature into materials, and then these materials mature into products. And these products are products of high value that we value in our societies. You have houses, we all value our houses. They come from mines. We have computers, they come from mines. We have cars, they come from mines. And so the things that we value most are actually minerals. And when you look at the distribution of wealth when it comes to these minerals, you have a ratio of about 1 to 4 to 40 between an ore, a mineral that you mined from the ground, and then somebody concentrates it, cleans it, removes out the dirt, the impurities, and then sells it again. That's 4 times the value of what is mined.
So value addition.
And then somebody else processes that into a product. That's 40 times the value. And largely, as Uganda, we are still on the first stage. So I'm here mainly to make sure that Ugandans embrace this industry, move in to add value, not only to add value, but to focus the interest of the industry towards serving the needs of the society of Ugandans, and not just processing minerals for export to power foreign industries. We want to process minerals for consumption here, and export excess. And when you look at countries like Germany, you notice that when they are manufacturing, the primary market is their own people.
Before we get into comparing into different countries and how they are doing, I also want to understand, why do you think we're still at that first stage? Why are we just still mining raw materials and not adding value to them? Why are we not there yet?
There are a series of complex challenges that we're having, which stem from the past. We were colonized, we were handed over infrastructure that we did not decolonize. You still have a railway line leading to the coast, not to people. And that means that minerals and materials are not linking to each other to reduce the cost of production. And so there is an infrastructure gap, an infrastructure challenge. But also there is a challenge of skills. You notice our universities are not training us in mining. There's no school in Uganda that trains how to mine gold, how to mine copper. You've talked about copper and gold. Of course, then, where there is no knowledge, you can only see what you know. And so Ugandans don't know much about minerals. They just stop at reading them in newspapers. And I think the Uganda Chamber of Energy and Minerals is focused on making sure that Ugandans are skilled, they are mobilized, and they integrate minerals into their commerce. And of course, technology, we are still at the tail end. We receive technology that is obsolete. We're not leading in technology development. And that, of course, influences how we are able to process and add value. But a Ugandan at this time, in the current regime, I think we are led well when it comes to the industry policies that's on ground. We see the president has been consistent. He has firmly stopped export of these raw minerals before they are processed. Some people are saying that yes, the quantity has reduced, but then the value we get out of our minerals now has grown
much higher.
38%.
Okay, so there is work being done in that case.
True.
Perhaps let's go back to where you were comparing to other countries in particular. What lessons can we learn as Uganda from the countries that have successfully transformed minerals into national wealth, for instance?
I think, like I said, that yes, minerals form materials, and materials form products that society needs. These countries are focused on serving the interests of the locals. And so the primary focus should be that these minerals are targeting, addressing interests of Ugandans. That should be the primary focus. And that means that we are substituting imports. We are retaining our dollars here, because then we stabilize our economy. And the second thing, when you look at, for example, Europe, we now have European Union. I think our industrial policies need to focus on what we call cooperative industrial strategy, where you notice that your market is small. You cannot scale, you cannot industrialize and use your minerals.
Yes.
Then you partner with your neighbors, and you look at the strength your neighbors have, and you support that strength by being a market for your neighbor. And they also look at the strength we have, and they support us. And through that, then we stabilize the region. We have neighbors who are interested in stability, who are interested in partnerships. And that's how this East African community, the SADC, the African Union can all come on board and actually deliver us economic-wise. And finally, these nations have embraced research. They embrace innovation. You notice that the universities in these countries are actually at the forefront of industrial innovation. They're partnering with industry. Probably we need to have a time where industry and academia are moving together. And instead of copying alien, foreign technologies, foreign standards, foreign commerce structures, we start developing our own. Did you know that a standard is not actually a quality control measure? It's purely an instrument of commerce. You find that you cannot export a pineapple from Uganda to Europe because it's not 1 kilogram, it's not
standard,
quite. But then when Europeans are here, they're eating pineapples. So that's
the
not...
very ones they don't want.
Yeah, that's not quality, that is a standard. That is something that limits access, protects markets. And so when standards shift from protecting markets, then that's when trade is fair. And so those countries have innovated, have created their own standards, have protected their markets, and we're still reinforcing dependence by inheriting their standards, their technologies.
Now, how can we move faster into value addition as a country, as well as industrialization? How can we get there a lot faster than we are doing now?
I think we are at the right time. We have very good leadership of the industry. The ministers are mobilized. They are actually leading from the front line. They have, surprisingly, I was at an African Union meeting, and I was called to tell people about Uganda and how it has managed to integrate artisanal and small-scale miners. In other countries, for example, South Africa, these miners are criminalized.
Yes.
And so the miner is a large corporation. If you're not a large corporation, then you're criminalized. And that, in a way, creates problems, because then the society that is largely mining and largely criminal means that the whole industry is illegitimate. Uganda has moved ahead, formalized these artisanal miners. They are the largest contributor of the mineral output. Wow. You consider the miners, the small-scale miners, just last year, they were able to generate about $850 million. That is small-scale miners. They're employing over 600,000 youth. So when we formalize, we legitimize, we create order, we create dignity, we enforce standards. They have, because you've formalized them, you've given them respect, they have a duty also to adhere to certain standards, safety standards, and that means also the quality output of the produce that we're having ends up becoming very good. And once the production is fixed, then we attract, there's transparency, of course, then we attract investment in value addition, because then it's respected.
Now let's talk about and look ahead there at the 14th Mineral Wealth Conference. It is coming up right now in September. What makes this year a bit different, and what can we look forward to when it comes to the conference?
So the theme of this conference is sustainable mineral development through collaboration, innovation, and green transition. When you look at this theme, it's forward-looking. It's a theme that addresses the global trends. It's a theme that addresses where markets are targeting. If you want to attract people to buy your minerals, then you're aligned with themes around sustainability, around innovation. And I can guarantee you, I'm part of the exhibitors. Uganda has a lot of minerals. Actually, so many other countries on the continent and on Earth envy us. We have copper, we have iron ore, we have lithium, tin, manganese, cobalt, so many, and then rare earth minerals. You talked about rare earth minerals. When you come to this conference, you're now going to see the people leading in extraction, in exploration of these minerals, in mining these minerals, and you'll be able to understand. For example, rare earth minerals or elements. We passed through school,
yes,
and they were on the periodic table, but they were hidden. Yeah. The ones that were bold are the ones that we looked at. For them, they were in the background. But when you look at the importance of these rare earth minerals, they are the main drivers of the green energy transition. They make magnets that are permanent. We all know magnets. These magnets are very permanent, they're very strong. And because of that, then you find, remember in physics, you have a coil and a magnet moving together, and then you produce electricity. Yeah. And so these magnets are going to be the ones that drive manufacture of turbines. We need electricity. They are going to drive manufacture of wind turbines, not the ones of hydropower. And then from there, the same rare earth minerals are applicable in the medical field. Yes. People are researching about cancers, and we are looking at rare earth elements as possible cures. Uganda has been known for medical innovations. We saw the response in COVID, and probably we also need to advance these minerals, these other fields. Huh?
Now, Doc, if I may, perhaps maybe for those people, we're hearing you speak so passionately about, this mining sector and the minerals that exist and the potential that we have here in Uganda. Perhaps share with those who are watching, what do you want them to know and why should they be interested particularly in the conference, and can they participate finally?
Yeah, so three things. First is that you can only see what you know. And so far, the mineral sector is growing to dominate the commerce of the country, the industry. It's a path to industrialization. If you are left behind, then you're not going to blame anyone. Huh? So you must embrace knowing what is happening in the sector. Secondly, that it should not stop at knowing. Participate. Do some value addition. We know that, yes, because now export of ores is limited, you want to do value addition. And when we talk about value addition, we want to fix problems that
Yes.
focus on us. I think in April, around March, April, we saw in Masaka a teacher being struck by lightning. And to fix lightning, you need copper rods.
Yes.
As lightning arresters. We have copper. We have 40,000 schools, over 40,000 schools. If I'm to provide 3 lightning rods for each school, I have over 180 billion Ugandan shillings. If government then comes in and says, yes, we're going to support our people, we're going to create markets, that would be a very good off-taker for an industry in copper. And so when you appear, then you know this knowledge. Then you engage your government, and we win together. I have a saying that tall trees are found in a forest. I cannot be in the mining sector alone. I need you. I need also you every time people come here to be interviewed.
Absolutely. No.
Ask about if they know minerals.
I mean, very well said. We need each other. This is a collaborative move, if I should say. Dr. Burjaya, thank you so much for your insights and your thoughts. But it is what's clear from today, honestly, in this conversation, is that Uganda's mining sector is no longer about speculation. It's really about preparation, if I should say, knowledge. The choices we make now, from formalizing artisanal miners, just as he had said, to building the right infrastructure will really determine whether this sector becomes a cornerstone of industrial growth or just another missed opportunity, and hopefully not. Thank you again, Doctor, for joining us, and thank you for watching The Breakfast Meeting. For me, Victoria Sibiya, goodbye, God bless.